I've been a water treatment plant operator for 17 years, night shift for the last 11. I know this plant the way I know my own heartbeat. I know the sound of the pumps when they're happy and the sound when they're struggling. I know the smell of the water when it's clean and the smell when something's off. I know the sensor panel like a musician knows their instrument. Every reading, every threshold, every normal variance. Tonight, the sensors are telling me something I don't want to hear. I came in at 10 p.m., normal start, checked the flow rates, normal, checked the chemical levels, normal, checked the tank temperatures, normal except for tank 3. Tank 3 has been showing a temperature anomaly at 3:11 a.m. every night for 6 years. I've seen it on the logs. I've never investigated it because it only happens at night, and I'm not supposed to leave the control room during my shift. But tonight, the anomaly is spreading. At 11 p.m., the hallway light started flickering. Not like a bad bulb, not like a loose wire. A steady rhythm. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The same rhythm as someone breathing. I timed it. 8 seconds on, 8 seconds off. 8 seconds on, 8 seconds off. No electrical system in this plant breathes like that. I told myself it was the heating. The heating kicks on at 11 p.m. every night, makes a bang when the pipes get hot. I've been here 17 years. I know the sounds. This was not the heating. I went to the break room to make coffee. The hot tap ran cold. The cold tap ran warm. The break room is on the plant's own water supply. Treated water, filtered water, water that should be temperature controlled. The plant produces water at exactly 58 degrees Fahrenheit. It has produced water at exactly 58 degrees for 17 years. The water from the cold tap was warm, not hot, warm. Body temperature. I put my hand under the stream. The water felt like skin. I told myself it was a valve stuck open, something in the distribution system. It happens. Old infrastructure. I've seen it before. But I've never seen water form letters in the sink before. I looked down. The water was pooling in the drain, not draining, pooling. And the pool was shaped like a word. 4 letters. My name. Not my full name. The nickname my wife calls me. The one I've never told anyone at work. I work alone. I've never mentioned my nickname. It's not on any badge, any form, any file. There is no way anyone at this plant knows that name. But the water knew. I checked the tank sensors again. Tank 3. 3:11 a.m. every night for 6 years. The temperature drops by exactly 4 degrees at 3:11 a.m., then returns to normal at 3:19 a.m. 8 minutes. The same 8-second rhythm as the hallway light. 8 seconds on, 8 seconds off. 8 minutes of cold. Then nothing. I pulled up the maintenance records for Tank 3. 6 years ago, we did a deep drill, went further into the aquifer than anyone had gone before. The water quality improved after that. Fewer contaminants, better pressure. Everyone said it was a success. No one asked what we found down there. I called the senior engineer. It's 2 a.m., he should be on call. His phone rang once, then silence. Not voicemail, not a dropped call, just silence. Like something picked up and didn't speak. I tried again. Same thing. I tried the night supervisor. Same thing. Silence on the other end. But I could hear something. Breathing. Slow. Deliberate. 8 seconds in. 8 seconds out. I hung up. The phone rang immediately. Caller ID showed my own number. I didn't answer. The hallway light started flickering again, faster now, 4 seconds on, 4 seconds off. the rhythm of a racing heart. I looked at my watch. My heart rate was normal. The light was not responding to me. It was responding to something else. Something in the pipes. Something that was moving through the plant. I felt the floor vibrate under my feet. Not the pumps. The pumps were on their normal cycle. This was different. A biological rhythm. The same 8-second pattern. Inhale, exhale. Coming up through the concrete, coming up through the pipes, coming up through the water in the break room sink where the word of my name was still pooling, still not draining. I went to tank 3. I shouldn't have. I'm not supposed to leave the control room during my shift, but the sensors were telling me things I couldn't ignore. The temperature was dropping. Not at 3:11 a.m. Now. 2:30 a.m. The anomaly was spreading. Tank 3 is a concrete cylinder, 20 feet tall, 15 feet wide, holds about 30,000 gallons of water. The access hatch is at the top. I climbed the ladder. My hands were shaking, not from cold. The air around the tank was warm, too warm. The same temperature as the water from the break room sink. Body temperature. I opened the hatch, shone my flashlight down. The water was black, not dark, black, like it was absorbing light instead of reflecting it. And it was moving, not sloshing, not circulating, moving with purpose, circling the tank in a slow, deliberate rhythm, 8 seconds per rotation. I leaned closer. The water rippled, and in the ripple, a face. My face, looking up at me from 30,000 gallons of black water. The face smiled. The water temperature dropped. I felt it through the metal ladder, through my boots, through my bones. I closed the hatch, climbed down, ran back to the control room. The sensors were going crazy. Tank 3, temperature dropping. Tank 3, pressure dropping. Tank 3, flow rate increasing. Water was leaving the tank, not through the outflow pipes, through somewhere else, somewhere the sensors couldn't measure. I checked the distribution map. The water from Tank 3 feeds half the city, hospitals, schools, homes. 340,000 people have been drinking this water for 6 years. 340,000 people have been consuming whatever is in Tank 3. I checked the quality reports. The water from Tank 3 has always tested clean. No bacteria, no contaminants, no problems. The tests are run during the day. The anomaly happens at night. No one has ever tested the water at 3:11 a.m. No one has ever tasted the water at 3:11 a.m. I filled a glass from the break room sink. The water was clear, normal. I held it up to the light. It looked like water. It smelled like water. But when I brought it to my lips, the glass was warm. The water inside was still, but the glass was vibrating. The same 8-second rhythm. I didn't drink it. I poured it down the drain. The water in the drain pooled into the shape of a word again. Not my name this time. Soon. I checked the Tank 3 sensors again. The temperature was still dropping. 3:11 a.m. was 40 minutes away. The anomaly was starting early. It had never started early before. Something was changing. Something was accelerating. Something was almost ready. I tried to call the senior engineer again. The phone rang. Someone picked up. No voice, just breathing. 8 seconds in, 8 seconds out. I said, "What's in Tank 3? The breathing stopped. Then a voice, my voice, coming through the phone, saying words I have never spoken. You are, you have been, you will be. I hung up. The phone rang again. I unplugged it. The ringing continued. From the speakers, from the sensors, from the water in the pipes. The sound of a phone ringing, echoing through the plant, coming from everywhere and nowhere. I looked at my watch. 3:11 a.m. The lights went out. Not the emergency lights, those stayed on. The regular lights, the ones in the hallway, the ones in the break room, the ones above Tank 3. All of them off at the same time. The emergency lights cast a red glow over everything. The plant looked like a different place, like somewhere I had never been. The water in the pipes started humming, not a mechanical hum, a vocal hum. A melody I didn't recognize, something old, something that had been under the ground for a very long time. I went to the main distribution panel. The flow meters showed water leaving Tank 3 at an impossible rate. 30,000 gallons should have taken hours to drain. The meters showed the tank was already empty, but the sensors showed it was still full. Black water, circling, waiting. I checked the outflow valves. They were closed. No water should have been leaving the tank. But the distribution map showed the water from Tank 3 spreading through the city. Hospitals, schools, homes, everywhere. The water was leaving through the pipes, even when the valves were closed, even when the pumps were off, even when nothing in the plant was moving. The water was moving itself. I ran to the break room, turned on the tap, water came out, clear, normal. But the glass I held under it, the glass was warm before the water touched it. I looked at my reflection in the water. My face looked back, but my eyes were wrong. They were darker, deeper, like looking down into Tank 3. The water in the glass rippled. My reflection smiled. I was not smiling. I poured the water down the drain. The drain did not gurgle. It sighed. I've been in this plant for 17 years. I know every pipe, every valve, every sensor. I know the water. I have drunk the water. I have bathed in the water. I have given the water to my children. For 6 years, I have been drinking whatever is in Tank 3. For 6 years, it has been inside me. I checked the medical records. The plant requires annual physicals. I've had 6 since the deep drill. My blood work has always been normal, but I asked the lab to check for something specific, something that shouldn't be there. They called back this morning. The technician said my blood contains traces of a mineral not found in any natural water source in this region. She asked if I'd been traveling. I said no. She asked if I'd been taking any unusual supplements. I said no. She said the mineral is not toxic, it's not harmful, it's not anything they have a category for. She said it looks like my blood is trying to learn something. I asked her what she meant. She said, "The mineral concentration in your blood changes depending on what you're thinking about. When you're calm, it's low. When you're stressed, it's high. When you're scared, it spikes. It's like something in your blood is reading your emotions." She paused. Then she said, "Have you been scared a lot lately?" I hung up. I looked at my reflection in the break room sink. The water was still running. The word in the drain was different now. Ready. I'm writing this in the control room. The sun will be up soon. The day shift will come. They will see the sensors. They will see the logs. They will see the anomaly at 3:11 a.m. They will not understand, because the anomaly is not in Tank 3 anymore. The anomaly is in the pipes. The anomaly is in the city. The anomaly is in me. And I think it's been in me for a very long time. I think it was in me before the deep drill. I think it was in my father. I think it was in his father. I think it has been in the water of this city for generations, waiting for someone to drill deep enough to wake it up. We woke it up 6 years ago. We have been drinking it ever since. And now it is ready. I'm going to turn off the lights. I'm going to lock the control room door. I'm going to sit here until the day shift arrives, but before I do, I'm going to drink 1 glass of water. From the break room tap. From tank 3. From whatever has been watching me for 17 years. I want to know what it tastes like when it's ready. I want to know if it tastes like me. The glass is full. The water is clear. The glass is warm. I'm going to drink it now. I need to log something that doesn't fit any category in our system. I've been a municipal archivist for 11 years. I've cataloged everything from Civil War letters to 1980s city council minutes. I have a category for everything. But this collection, the one donated by the estate of the previous owner of the building across the street, it has something in it that I cannot process. The collection arrived 3 weeks ago. 47 boxes. The donor stipulated that it be cataloged in its entirety before any public access. That's unusual, but not unheard of. Rich people have strange requests. I didn't think anything of it. The first 30 boxes were ordinary. Financial records, property deeds, correspondence with city officials. Nothing remarkable. The kind of collection I process in my sleep. Then I opened box 31. The notebook is leather-bound. Approximately 120 pages, handwritten. The first 90 pages are ordinary. Records of daily life, shopping lists, observations about the weather. But around 1987, the handwriting changes. It becomes smaller, more deliberate. And the content changes too. The notebook starts predicting things. I verified the first prediction against city records. It described a fire on Elm Street. Date, time, address. The fire happened. The notebook was written 3 years before. The second prediction, a water main break on the north side. Date, time, location. Accurate. Written 5 years prior. The predictions continue through the 1990s. Each one accurate. Each one written years before the event. I cross-referenced 11 of them. 11 confirmed predictions. The notebook has never been wrong. And then I reached the last page. The last page was written recently. The ink is fresh. The handwriting is different from the rest. Not the original writer. Not the second writer. A third hand. It says, Archivist. Date of death, yesterday. Time, 11:47 p.m. Location, the archive basement, between sections G and H. I am writing this at 1 a.m. I am in the archive basement. I am between sections G and H. And yesterday, I was alive all day. I went home. I ate dinner. I slept. But the notebook says I died last night at 11:47 p.m. I checked my personnel file this morning. I don't know why. Something told me to look. The file is kept in a locked drawer. Only I have the key. But when I opened it, there were new pages. Updates. Daily notes about my work performance, my arrival times, my departure times, the quality of my cataloging. The notes go back 3 weeks. They are written in the same third handwriting from the notebook. And they are accurate. Every late arrival, every mistake, every coffee break. Someone has been watching me. Someone has been recording me. Someone has been keeping my personnel file updated without ever opening the drawer. I told myself the building is old. Basements drift. Drawers stick and unstick. The cursor on my workstation, the one that moves when I'm not looking, that's just a glitch. I've filed 3 IT tickets about it. I told myself I wasn't paying attention. I've been tired. The collection is large. I stopped noticing things. But the personnel file, the notebook, the photograph. The photograph was in box 14, dated 1962, black and white. It shows the building across the street. the one whose owner donated this collection. The building has a window that faces the archive basement. My window. The one I sit next to every day. In the photograph, at that window, a figure. Blurry, too far away to identify. But I scanned it, enhanced it. The figure is wearing clothes from 1962. A dress, pearls, hair in a style no one wears anymore. And the face is mine. I wasn't born until 1985. I cannot be in a photograph from 1962. But the enhancement software doesn't lie. The facial recognition matches, the bone structure, the distance between the eyes, the shape of the jaw. The figure at the window in 1962 has my face. I started going through the rest of the collection more carefully. Box 32 contained newspaper clippings about the archive building itself, construction photos from 1958, dedication ceremony photos from 1959, staff photos from every decade. In the staff photo from 1972, I am standing in the back row. Same face, same height, same posture. Wearing clothes from the 1970s. In the staff photo from 1984, I am there again, standing in the same spot. Not older, not younger, exactly the same. In the staff photo from 1996, I am there. I would have been 11 years old in 1996, but the woman in the photograph is not 11. She is the same age I am now. I have been working in this archive for a very long time. Longer than 11 years, longer than the building has existed. The collection is not about the previous owner of the building across the street. The collection is about me, and it has been following me for decades. I tried to leave. I packed my bag. I walked to the stairs. The door was locked. It's never locked. There's no lock on that door. It's a fire door. It opens from the inside. It didn't open. I pushed. I pulled. I threw my shoulder against it. Nothing. I tried my phone. No signal. The archive basement has never had signal. I knew that. I've known that for 11 years. But I've never needed to leave this badly before. I tried the landline. Dead. The internal system has been down for a week. IT says they're working on it. I am alone. In a basement. With a collection that predicted my death last night. With a personnel file that tracks my every move. With photographs of me from decades before I was born. And with the notebook. The one that's still writing itself. I opened the notebook again. There's a new entry. On the page after my death notice. Written in the same third hand. In ink that is still drying. Archivist. She is still here. She does not know she died. She is still cataloging. She is very good at her job. She will finish the collection soon. Then she can rest. I don't feel dead. I feel my heart beating. I feel my hands shaking. I feel the cold of the basement on my skin. But the notebook has never been wrong. Not once in 90 pages of predictions. I checked the security footage. The archive has cameras. Old ones, grainy, but they work. I pulled up the footage from last night at 11:47 p.m. The camera in section G shows me at my desk, cataloging, working late, alone. At 11:47 p.m., I stood up, walked to the door, opened it, walked out. I remember none of this. I was at home last night. I was in bed. I was asleep. But the footage shows me leaving the archive at 11:47 p.m., and it shows me coming back at 1 a.m., the same time I started writing this. I do not remember coming back. I checked the footage from the stairwell. The camera is motion activated. It recorded me leaving at 11:47 p.m. It did not record me returning at 1 a.m. There is no footage of me coming back down the stairs. But I am here, at my desk, writing this. I checked the door, the one that was locked. It opens now, easily, like it was never locked at all. I could leave. I could walk up the stairs. I could go home. I could pretend none of this happened. But the notebook. The notebook is still open, and there is a new entry. At the bottom of the page, written while I was checking the footage, Archivist. She has seen the footage. She is trying to understand. She will not understand. She will finish the collection. She always finishes the collection. She has been finishing it for a very long time. I have been an archivist for 11 years. I have been cataloging this collection for 3 weeks. But the notebook says I have been finishing it for a very long time. How long? How many times have I done this? How many times have I sat in this basement, at this desk, with this collection, trying to understand? I looked at the final box. Box 47. The last one. I haven't opened it yet. I was saving it for tomorrow. I opened it now. Inside, photographs. Of me. Sleeping. In the archive office. At my desk. On the floor. Under the table. Dozens of photographs. All taken from angles that would require a camera where no camera exists. And at the bottom of the box, a notebook. New. Leather-bound. Same as the first. I opened it. The first page reads, Archivist, Volume 2. Start date, today. End date, unknown. She has finished Volume 1. She does not remember finishing it. She will not remember finishing this one either. But she is very good at her job, and the collection is almost complete. I flipped through the rest of Volume 2. It is mostly blank, but there are entries already written, dated for tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. The entries describe me cataloging, working late, eating at my desk, sleeping on the floor, finishing the collection. The last entry in Volume 2 is dated 3 weeks from now. It says, Archivist. She is finished. She is packing the final box. She does not know where she is going. She does not remember where she came from. She will start Volume 3 tomorrow. There is a Volume 3. I am going to finish cataloging this collection. I don't know why. I don't want to. But my hands are already reaching for the next document. My pen is already writing the next entry. The notebook says I am very good at my job. It says I always finish. I think the collection is not about the building across the street. I think the collection is not about the previous owner. I think the collection is about me. And I think it has been about me for a very long time. And I think when it is complete, I won't need to catalog it anymore. Because I'll be inside it. Before I close this log, I should note one more thing. Box 47 contained one item I haven't described. A photograph. Polaroid. Recent. It shows me at my desk, writing this. The timestamp on the Polaroid says 1:47 a.m., the same time I am writing this sentence. But I am alone in the basement. There is no one here to take my photograph. And in the photograph, standing behind me, looking over my shoulder, reading what I write, is a figure. Blurry, wearing a dress, pearls, hair in a style no one wears anymore. The figure has my face.